Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the second letter, that is letter for placing order. Previously we have done letter of inquiry. Now what is letter for placing order? It is a letter written to place or assign an order. Alright, whenever we want to order something, we write a letter that is known as letter for placing order. Now, in this letter, we write or we mention the quantity that is required, the amount of the money that has been paid or that will be paid in the future, then the mode of payment and the stipulated date of delivery. Now, the question arises, why do we write a letter? Why don't we simply call the person and just order the things? Now students, you are absolutely right, but if we see from the point of view of a businessman or a company or a firm, we cannot simply call and place an order. Everything needs to be systematic there. Therefore, we write a letter so that there is proper documentation. Alright, I hope this is clear to you. Now the next thing that we should always remember that it is a formal letter. Therefore, the language that we use in this should be precise and it should be clear. Alright, write whatever is needed and write so that there is no confusion in the letter. Alright, the next thing that we should see is the content of the letter. Here, the content should also be straight. Now what do we mean by straight? We are not going to beat around the bush. Alright, we are not going to write something extra. Okay, so for example, there is no need to write that we found the products very affordable. Okay, there is no need for that. It should be straight and it should be to the point. Alright, so these things should be remembered when we are writing this letter. I hope this is clear to you. Now, as we move forward, let me tell you some of the warnings. Now, what are these warnings? These warnings are the things that you should remember when you are writing a letter. Alright, this letter should not be studied only from the point of view of getting marks, but it should be done so that you can learn something new. So, let us start with the warnings. Here, the warnings. Now, the first thing that is there is communication. Now, what about communication? Remember that this letter for placing order, is not your first communication with the firm. Either the firm has already written to you, sent you brochures, sent you price list or pamphlets, or you must have written an inquiry letter to them. So both the parties, they have been in contact with each other. Alright, so you are not going to ask about the prices. If you are going to do that, then what will happen? It is going to become a, what will it become? It will become a letter of inquiry. And we don't want to write a letter of inquiry, we want to write a placing order letter. Clear? Then, second thing is, you have to be specific. What do we understand by being specific? Specific means that you will write or you will order whatever is mentioned in the question. For example, in the question says that you have to order 4 musical instruments. Here the name of those musical instruments are not given to you. So it is up to you. Alright, here you can use your creativity and you can order any 4 musical instruments. On the other hand, if we have a question in which they are telling you to order, suppose, guitars and drums. So we are only going to order guitars and drums. Alright, so when something is specified in the question, we are only going to order that. Then the next thing that we should remember is the details and the quotations. They have already been sent to you by the firm. So you are aware about their terms and conditions. Alright, so in this letter you are not going to ask about their terms and conditions. I hope this is clear to you. Alright, let us just quickly revise what we have done. Now what are the warnings that you have to remember? Yes, tell me the first warning. Yes, the first warning is that this is not our first communication with the firm. Our second warning is that we have to be specific. For example, if your mother sends you to the grocery shop and tells you to buy a kg of rice, you are going to buy a kg of rice. You are not going to buy a kg of sugar. The same way, when the firm tells you to buy 10 sitars or 10 guitars, we are going to order that. We are not going to order something extra. And the last thing is there, that we already have the details, we already have the quotations. Alright, so we don't need to ask them about their terms and conditions. Now, before going into further detail, let me divide the body of the letter into 3 paragraphs. Alright, and I will tell you what are the points that you should write in each and every paragraph. Alright, if you understand this, it will be easier for you to write this letter. I hope you are ready. Okay, let us come to the first paragraph. Now, in the first paragraph, we are going to write the reference. Now, what reference? Alright, I have already told you, this is not your first communication with the firm. So, we are going to refer to a previous communication. So, we are going to write the letter number, and here, if the letter number is not given in the question, we can assume any number, suppose 1, 2, 3, and we are going to write the date on which this letter was written. Alright, I hope this is clear to you. Now, the second thing that we have to write is the approval. Alright, now in this approval you will write that your institution or your firm or your company has approved the rates given by their company. So this should be, it is very important, this should be mentioned in your letter. Then the last thing is the table. Alright, this table, now this table should be drawn with a pencil, so that if you have done something extra, you can erase it. Alright, now this table should be divided into 3 to 4 columns. Alright, in the first column we are going to write the serial number. In the second column we are going to write the items. In the third column we are going to write the quantity, and in the last column we are going to write the brand. Alright, now just remember that this fourth or this last column can be omitted, or the heading of this column can be changed. For example, if you are ordering some books, alright, there instead of brand it can be the name of the author, or it can be the publisher. Okay, so remember this. Now, for example, I take that I want to order any 2 electronic items. Suppose the first item is fans and we are ordering for a hotel. So suppose the quantity is 20 and let the brand be Orpet. Alright. Then suppose our second item is microwave. Alright. Let it be 10. Alright. Let the brand be Samsung. Alright. So now we are going to close this table. Alright. See, because we have drawn it with a pencil, so what will happen? If there is something extra, we can easily erase it. Okay. I hope this is clear to you. We have drawn 4 columns. In the first column, serial number, first item, second item, suppose third, 3, 4. Then items, here fans and microwaves. Quantity up to the question, suppose here 20 and 10. Then brand, suppose Orpet and Samsung. I hope this is clear to you. Alright, let us quickly revise what are the things that we should write in this paragraph. Okay, the first thing is the reference. Very good. Now we are referring to what? We are referring to a previous communication that we had with the firm, and we will refer and we will write the letter number and the date on which that letter was written. Alright, then the next thing that we are going to write is the approval that our company, our firm, our institution has approved the prices. Last but not the least, the table of content. Alright, now let us move to the second paragraph. Here we are coming to the second paragraph. Now, in this paragraph, the first thing that we are going to write, alright, that is the date of delivery. Alright, when do we expect that the items should be delivered? Alright, we should give a date. Alright, we should not keep it open. Alright, that whenever they want to deliver, okay, we are ready with that. We should give a date of delivery. Generally, it is from 7 days to 10 days. Alright, so just you can write 10 days. Alright, within 10 days of the issue of this letter. Now, next thing that we have to write is the mode of payment. How are you going to pay the firm? Alright. Now here it is very important to remember that we are not going to use cash. Alright. Here when we are talking about mode of payment, there can be 2 modes of payment. One is by check and the other is by demand draft. And these 2 modes of payment is simply for the safety, and because this is a business or a firm or a company, so you also need proper documentation. Alright, that is why we keep check and demand draft. We are not going to use cash. Alright, then the last thing, alright, release of payment. Alright, so the last thing that you have to write is when are you going to release the payment. Okay, you are going to give the check, but after how many days will this payment be released? Alright, generally you can keep 7 dates. Alright, you can say that the payment will be released after 7 days from the date of delivery. Now, why do we keep this release date? Okay, It is because if you get any defective item, alright, then you can stop the payment and you can get the defective items replaced. Alright, if you give by cash, the payment by cash, or you simply release the payment as soon as you get the delivery, and afterwards you find out that the items were defective. Alright, it will be a hassle to change or get it repaired or get it replaced afterwards. So we should keep our interest in view and we should tell them that the payment will be released after 7 days. Alright, and these things should be made clear so that afterwards there is no confusion. Alright, so now I hope this second paragraph is clear to you. Okay, let us again quickly revise what we have done. Okay, first thing, quickly, yes, first thing that we are going to write is date of delivery, and this date of delivery can be 7 to 10 days. Okay, next thing that we are going to write is mode of payment. The mode of payment is by check or by cash or by demand draft. Tell me. Yes, it is by check and by demand draft. Very good. Now the last thing was that release of payment. When will the payment be released? 7 days or maybe 10 days, whatever, up to you, but don't make it 20 days or a month. Alright, keep everything reasonable. So maybe 7 days after the date of delivery. Okay, now let us come to the last or the third paragraph. Now in the third paragraph there are only two things that we are going to mention. Alright, now what is the first thing? First thing is action to be taken if we get any defective, in case of any defective item. What action are we going to take if we receive a defective item? Alright, this we have started in the previous paragraph. Okay, date of release. So what are we going to do? We are going to stop the payment until the item is replaced. Here remember one thing, we are not going to get it repaired. We will get it replaced. Until and unless our item is not replaced, we are not going to release the payment. Understood? Then next thing we have to remember is asking for a discount. Alright, everybody likes a discount, a good discount. Okay, but here again we should be reasonable. Alright, we cannot ask for maybe 50% or 60% discount. Obviously they are also working, so this we should keep in mind. So here when we are talking about discount, we can keep 10% to maybe 15%. Alright, just go for 10% discount. Okay, you can say, suppose you we are ordering musical instruments for our school, so we can say that we would like to have a discount of 10% as we are an educational institution, or suppose you can ask for a discount of 15%. Alright, so just be reasonable when you are asking for this discount. Alright, I hope this is clear to you. Alright, first paragraph, second paragraph and third paragraph. Now after this, in the next class I will do a sample letter with you, and in this sample letter we will do all the details. Alright, the format you already know, it is a formal letter, so you have done the format. Okay, so let us meet in the next class. Till then, thank you.